Now that you have some background information about the training context, we need to define some important concepts. In this video, we will review some training and development terms, and then review the qualities of the best training programs. Let's begin by differentiating between training and development. Training is a planned effort. It is something that is designed in advance and delivered with the intention of teaching someone something new. In a training program, employees typically learn new competencies, new knowledge, new skills. Sometimes they learn how to perform specific behaviors. Training is extremely popular in today's work environment. We spend more than $100 billion every year on training in the United States. Development is a broader concept. Development includes just about anything that leads employees to grow, to learn something new. Development also tends to be more future-oriented than training. Training is designed to help employees learn things that will help them in their current positions, whereas development is usually focused more on helping people develop the competencies that they will need in the future. Development can include training, but it can also include other types of learning. You see a few examples here on the screen: formal education, job experiences, social networking, and not the kind that involves Twitter, mentoring, coaching. There are a variety of different experiences that can lead employees to learn and improve on the job behaviors. Development includes all of these different methods. There are multiple ways of categorizing training and development programs. One of the ways that we can think about these programs is in terms of formality. Formal programs are designed by the organization. They are administered by the organization and evaluated by the organization. Formal programs happen because the organization wants them to happen. Informal learning, informal training and development programs encourage learning to happen in a less structured and a less controlled setting. Informal learning is initiated by the learner, by the person who wants to learn. They have a desire to grow and develop in some way. Informal learning occurs outside of a classroom or outside of a designated training situation, and rarely is there a trainer involved in the learning process. They may be there to encourage or support the employees, but the informal learning process is driven by the learner. Both types of learning are extremely important to organizations. Now, you might ask yourself, how does a company encourage learning to happen outside of its control? Later in this module, you will learn more about strategic training and development, and you will learn more about learning organizations. The two lectures will explain how you can shape a culture to be more supportive of learning. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to encourage employees to learn using multiple methods. For instance, informal learning can occur within a mentoring relationship. Not all mentoring programs are formal programs. Sometimes companies will pair a seasoned, tenured employee with a lower level, newer employee and simply ask that they stay in contact. They don't mandate any homework or they don't mandate meetings. They encourage the relationship to develop naturally. In this way, mentoring can be more of an informal learning process where you learn from other people just by having conversations with them and by watching their behaviors in the workplace. One of the other reasons that informal learning is important in any organization is because this is how we develop tacit knowledge. Explicit knowledge is the kind of knowledge that you can learn from a book, from taking a class. Tacit knowledge is the kind of information you learn through life experience or work experience. Both explicit and tacit knowledge can be developed by both formal and informal learning. That is a possibility. But informal learning is especially important for tacit knowledge. Why? Because tacit knowledge is based on life experience. We don't always gain life experience in formal training and development programs. In an informal learning situation, life experience plays a bigger role in the learning process, and therefore we can develop tacit knowledge through informal learning processes. Here are two additional terms that are important to understanding how training and development fits within the organization. Knowledge management supports training and development. Training and development supports talent management. Knowledge management is the process of managing knowledge, of acquiring the tools, the technology, creating processes, procedures, and rules around the creation and sharing of knowledge. In learning organizations, for example, employees are encouraged to learn all the time. Not only are they free to explore new ideas, share their thoughts, try new things, take risks, they are also encouraged to share their learning with their colleagues, with other people in the organization. Knowledge management is the process of keeping track of all of this information. Knowledge management is essentially a tracker for human capital. In this way, knowledge management can contribute to learning and the transfer of that learning to the job. After training, for instance, employees can access training materials and best practices through the knowledge management system. The effectiveness of the training and development function will likely have an impact on the effectiveness of the talent management system. The training and development system is related to and can influence the talent management system. Talent management is the process of attracting, selecting, developing, and motivating employees, talent. An organization's recruitment practices, its hiring practices, its performance measurement practices, and its training and development practices will certainly have an impact on the makeup of the workforce. And as you can see from this definition, talent management is one arm, one component of human resource management. The main idea here is that training and development do not exist in a vacuum. There are other systems, other functions within the organization that are tied to training and development. They can influence it and they can be influenced by it. Understanding how all of these different pieces fit together gives you a great advantage within your organization, not only as a training professional, but as a leader. This integration with other HR functions means that there are a lot of things to consider when managing a training and development system. At the end of the day, though, the overall goal of training and development is learning and transfer of training. Learning is the acquisition, the gaining of new knowledge, skills, behaviors, abilities, competencies. When we learn, we gain something. That something is often information. Sometimes it is a new behavior, a new habit that we call a skill. But it's not enough for employees to simply learn something new. They need to be able to take that new information back to the job and do their jobs better. That is the goal of training, so that they will learn and transfer that learning to the workplace for the benefit of themselves, but also for the organization. The organization is investing its resources into its employees in the hopes that both the individual and the company will benefit from the training. Transfer of training refers to applying new information to the job. When employees learn and transfer training, companies are able to build their human capital. Human capital is an example of an intangible asset. It is something of value that we can't touch, we can't see, but it helps the organization do what it needs to do. Human capital refers to not only the knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics of employees, but it also includes their experiences, their motivation, their drive, their passion, their creativity. All of these components of the human are considered human capital in the business sense. When many of an organization's employees are learning and transferring learning to the job, the organization is able to build its human capital. And human capital can contribute to the bottom line. Companies that implement high performance work practices tend to make more money and have happier employees than companies that do not have high performance work practices. It just so happens that a strategic training and development system is considered a high performance work practice. In the United States, companies that invest in learning tend to enjoy greater profitability, greater customer and employee satisfaction, the ability to attract and retain the most talented employees, the ability to attract and retain the most talented employees, the ones who have the knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics that are required of their jobs. We call these KSAOs. And these companies are equipped for future demands. They have the necessary resources to make sure that they can train employees today and tomorrow. When we consider the importance of training and its potential benefits, it is no surprise that more and more companies are investing in learning. In the last decade, the training and development industry has exploded as some of the trends you see here have emerged. First and foremost, the number of learning hours that an employee invests in their job each year has been increasing for the last 20 years. In addition, the demand for specialized, customized training has also increased. Managers, professionals, and specific industries are now looking for training programs just for them. Technology-based training has also become more popular in the last 20 years. Instructor-led instruction is still the most popular, but more and more training programs are incorporating different types of technology to enhance the learning experience and to streamline the administration process. And finally, the amount of money that companies are spending on training and development programs has been increasing steadily for some time. In 2017, direct expenditures for training in the United States totaled more than $90 billion. As you can see from this brief snapshot, there are plenty of opportunities for professionals like you and I in the training and development field. One of the most well-respected organizations in the training and development industry is the Association for Talent Development, ATD. They have a list of the country's best training programs, and from that list, they identify a set of shared characteristics. I have some of those characteristics here on the screen. The best training programs are aligned with the business strategy, the business goals, its values, its culture. And this culture is supportive of learning and transfer of training. One of the themes that you will hear over and over and over again is that top leaders' support of training and development is crucial to the success of any program. If the top leaders don't take it seriously, if the top leaders don't like it, then lower level employees probably won't take it seriously and they probably won't like it. The best training programs create rigorous evaluation metrics to ensure that each individual program is resulting in the appropriate outcomes, but also to ensure that the entire system is contributing to business goals. Metrics are very important. These programs also provide a variety of opportunities for their employees, and they provide these opportunities for everyone in the organization, from lower levels to upper levels. Sometimes external stakeholders are also invited to participate in the organization's training. And finally, these companies use training only when it is needed. They conduct needs assessments to help them determine whether training is the answer or whether some other solution might be better suited for a particular performance problem. Remember, training won't solve every performance problem. We will face a variety of performance issues in the workplace, and training is only going to be able to solve some of those problems. The organization's culture, its structure, its rewards program, its performance measurement system could also be contributing to the performance problem. This is why we conduct a needs assessment, to make sure that we're not wasting time and resources on a solution that probably won't work.